today we're going to be looking at the Kettler bike, in particular its rear hub, very similar design as the Sturmy Archer. So what we'll do is just jump right in and we'll have a look. Okay, so you can see here I got some of the components taken apart. We have the device goes in the back of the hub there, the clutch system, and then the actual lever here, torpedo lever. And while I was taking this apart, the components themselves are actually really well engineered. Very happy with the design and the level of engineering on these. In fact, I've actually serviced this guy right here. So let's put the camera down for a second, see if I can show you guys exactly what we've been doing. Okay, so we have the clutch system here on a screw spindle. Goes on like this. So I've taken this apart already, as I mentioned. So on the inside then we have the planet wheels right here. These have been taken apart, the pins have been taken out. There's just a little circlip right there where my finger is. Take that off, allows you to pull the pins out, and there's a little kind of a washer comes with it as well. And on the inside here we have the actual inner workings, just like so. And then we have drive, little pawls here on the outside that engage with the outer hub of the wheel. Drive, clutch here on the back, engages this guy, like that. Drive. Really well engineered stuff. I was very impressed when I was taking this apart, especially with the components, etc. And bearings all were in very good condition. They just need to be cleaned up and reserviced again. We have the indicator pin here. That just goes into the shaft here. There's a little pin that goes in the center, the hole is here, and it connects this guy. It allows for movement back and forth. And as we get the movement on the screw here, if I can take that out again. Entry gear system. There we go, there's that screw. Goes in like so. Back and forth. We have the engage there. Little circlips and springs on the outer here for the pawls. Really well engineered. Amazing stuff now, very happy with this. No major signs of damage or wear anywhere on the major components. There was a little bit on the outer clutch part. What's that now? Have a look and see. Here we go. So just here, a little bit of wear and tear on this guy. On the actual splined lines. If you take a look here. Nothing major though, mind you, but for nearly 40 years old, she's doing very well. Can't see any real signs of damage or wear and tear. The lines themselves look in really good nick. Really good nick. So what I'm going to do with this, guys, I'm going to clean it all up. I'm going to obviously service it, grease it. I've kind of partially done this one. The planetary wheels, and is all done. As I said, I've taken the pins out. I've just greased it all back up again. Cleaned it up real nice. Put the clips, pins back in. Simple little design. Spring loaded. Okay, so this has a spring pin on it, right? And it's actually split in half, this piece. And what happens is when the pressure is put on to this spring, it expands. And see that outer knurling? That attaches itself or binds to the inner part of the hub on the wheel. In fact, if we take a look at the wheel itself, you might see some kind of indication as to markings. So yeah, you can see a little bit there on the inside. The outer lip is a little bit of scoring there. And you can see the hub itself is in very good condition internally there. No signs of damage to the actual lugs, the pawl receivers. Very good condition. The Kettler bike itself, what I've done is I've just stripped off the actual handlebars and the fork. Had a look at it's good condition on the bearing cups here. So we'll service all up, put it back in again. Taking the crankset off, the bottom brackets come loose. It looks like somebody may have had a go before trying to take this off. There's a bit of damage to the frame there. So we'll have to go easy with that one. Maybe a little bit stiff. We'll have to introduce heat. The only thing about introducing heat to bearings is obviously you're going to get the oil coming out, seeping out, and you might do damage to any seals. But these are the old type of bottom brackets, so I think we should be okay. So yeah, saddle's going to come off. We're going to clean all this up. Redo some treatment on the leather for the seat. Get this guy looked at repair wise, and then the rest of the frame is going to get touched up as we go. But yeah, overall very happy with the level of engineering on this particular Kettler bike. Absolutely phenomenal. And I first pulled apart the hub. It's very similar to the Sturmy Archer configuration and design. There's a few kind of critiques. They've engineered it a little bit more better, obviously for longevity. You can see the machining on these components is phenomenal. High tolerance levels, really good. And this guy is just held together with a circlip. See, can I get that on camera for you guys? So literally there's a big circlip right here where my finger is, and that just holds the cog or the gear on itself along with the hub. I've also serviced the bearings in there as well. That little cap comes off, bearings come out, cage bearing, and just clean it up and re-grease. Obviously cleaned up the outer aluminium cover shroud there for the chain guard. Took that off, cleaned that up. I can go back onto the hub and wheel. But as I said guys, the condition of the components and parts themselves are in excellent condition. No signs of major wear. So super happy with that. So spring. See the actual shaft and the sun gear there on the shaft. The epileptic gearing system. Simple but yet very effective. You got your 3 speeds on the hub itself, on the gears, and how that's facilitated is that screw type fitting right here. He goes in to this guy, like so. Okay, and then this guy goes at the end. So we end up with something that looks like this. Okay, and all that's happening is it's moving up and down on the screw. Okay guys, so we got the shaft back inside the main hub assembly here, and we can see that right here is where we have a pin that goes through this hole here and into the axle, and that basically keeps this aligned and allows for backward and forward motion, and that motion then relates to that screw on the end, that screw type on the gearing and clutch system. And then we have our gear changes by going in and out here, moving up and down, so first, second and third, second being the most direct ecliptic gear in ratio terms. So the top there will be first gear, second, and then third. So I'll see if I can demonstrate that there for you. So we would just basically move up by pulling the pin. So this guy here goes inside here, like so. You might be able to make him out. It's just in there. He connects to the pin that I have safely stored away, and basically locks this guy to here. We get that backward and forward motion. Like obviously the cable tension on the gear shifter will move this back and forth, which thus in turn changes the gearing, moves the screw up and down. We have that clutch engagement. So it's a very simple design, but yet very, very effective. And because it's a sealed unit, we don't have any issues with dirt ingress, corrosion, anything like that. In fact, there was very little corrosion on this for something that's nearly 40 years old. But yeah, super impressed with this. Very good engineering. A few circlips holding things together. The pawls themselves are in excellent condition. There's no major damage to them or anything like that. They're actually really, really good. Really well engineered. There they are there. If I can focus for you. The pawls themselves, they just engage in the inner part of the hub for drive and braking as well. As you can cycle backwards, it will brake. You'll see that guy there engages with the hub, and he just sits like this. So as I said, this outer part here has got a big expanded spring on it, and that allows for expansion and contraction. That's what binds to the inner part of the hub. We've got pressure, lateral pressure, that pushes on this onto the cone, the spline cone here. The more pressure we push, expands this spring, and then that in turn then expands and makes contact with the inner part of the hub of the wheel, and that's what gives us our kind of clutch-like braking system. So, very good. Simple but very effective, guys. Very impressed with this German engineering from Kettler. Very good. So little tangs there. So it can only go one way into the hub and one way onto the torpedo lever here. Braking lever. So, like so. The teeth on the cog itself, of the gear itself, is in really good condition. Nice square profile, no major signs of wear over the years for something that is, 40 years old. It's actually in very good nick, very good condition. The bearings will just go in here, and they face outward like this. So that these outer part of the bearings receive the hub, and obviously this will be greased up and serviced as well. I go back into the hub, but yeah. The spring obviously allows for that lateral backward and forward motion on the hub itself. actually see the inner part there of the headset itself. No signs of rust on the inside there. The finger is really good nick. Frame has a few chips and marks. It'll be interesting to see how we're going to address that. Come to trying to restore it back. Trying to find paint will be some job as well, because I wouldn't say it's very easy to source paint for a Kettler. Try to find some parts online, and everything's in German, so I don't spreche die Deutsch, I don't speak German. So yeah, the search continues for parts and whatnot. But we'll get there in the end, guys. We'll bring her back for our glory. The aluminium mud flaps can just be polished up, like I say, they'd be fine. No major signs of dents or damage or anything. Okay. Okay guys, I don't know about you guys, but I am pretty hungry, pretty famished, so I'm going to cook something up. So just bear with me, and we'll give it a go. Cooking in the shed. Got this on Amazon, kind of a gas cooker. Propane goes in here. As you can see, just threads in, screws in. The gas flow here, levels. You get your igniter on the bottom here. So yeah, we'll get that going. Actually, let's see, can we fire this up? Hasn't been fired up in a while. I think there's like a little valve or something you have to turn on first. Oh, there we go, unlock and then lock, I think. Oh, that sounds interesting. Okay, so the gas canister, make sure that it's compressed so it's sitting like so, because it wasn't. So once you get it up like that, pull down the lock so you're locking in position, and then you're good to turn on your flow and your igniter. But yeah, that's what you're looking for. So locked and on. Turn to the igniter. Boom. Flame. Variable control. Low heat. Full heat. Okay, so we're cooking on gas. Okay, so let's get some grub together. As you can see, some eggs, all that good stuff. Then whipped up. Okay, let's get cooking. There we go, nice flame. Be a little bit too high, we're just going to reduce that down a little bit. It's not bad. Pan on top. A little bit of butter there on top. The reason for that is we're going to that's going to go into the mix, but we're also going to slightly pan toast our brown soda bread, brown Irish soda bread. So bear with me there one sec, guys, and I'll see if I can get the soda bread. Yeah. Okay. Probably turn up the heat slightly, I would imagine. Yep. Okay, we can just put in our brown soda bread. Top. Yes. Take a few minutes to cook. We'll flip it over then. Sides. How are we looking underneath? Nice flame. And we're cooking good. Cooking on gas, peeps. Cooking on gas. Okay, flip her over. Good stuff. Into that sizzle. pan is actually moving on me. I'm trying to lift the bread. Okay. A little bit longer on that. Into that sizzle. The pan is actually moving on me. I'm trying to lift the bread. Okay, so we're going to do some scrambled egg. Okay, so obviously we need some eggs. You also got a nice onion here, scallion. So eggs. Now you can obviously crack these into the pan. Or you can do it into a bowl, it's really your own preference. So, there we go. Just crack this egg, like so. Throw that back in there. Another one. Okay, salt and pepper. And the reason why I put salt and pepper in now is because I don't want to be too overpowering when it's cooked. Most chefs will tell you season at the end. That's fine, that's your preference, whatever. But I just find if you do it this way, it's not as strong. You don't get that grainy pepper in your mouth either. Just going to get a bit of milk. The reason why we're using milk is we want the eggs to be a little fluffy, a little bit creamy as well. Wait 1 sec. Okay, so we have milk. We just need a little drop, nothing crazy. Give the amount. Get a fork. Just do a quick whip above the old eggs there, like so. And then we have our scallion here, stick off the end, so. Got the outer skin, you can also wash it as well, already pre-washed. You can leave them whole if you wish, really your own preference, or you can just cut the onion fine. You know, a sharper knife would be good, but we'll make do. Okay. And then you have your scallion chopped, ready to go. Straight into the mixed egg. So. Golden hold them. Pretty much ready to rock and roll. That then can be poured into the pan on a relatively low to mild heat, and then we can scramble away. Looking good. Cooking on gas, peeps. Cooking on gas. Make the flipper over. Good stuff. Into that sizzle. So the pan is actually moving on me. I'm trying to flip the bread. Okay. A little bit longer on that. We're getting nice and brown now. Oh, you can hear the smoke alarm going off. Just turn that off. I did to myself. I must remember to turn off the smoke alarm, and then just forgot all about it completely. Okay, so that's looking pretty good there now at the moment. Nice and lightly toasted. Some of that butter in there onto the soda red. Okay, so pretty much happy with that, guys. Camera view there. Oh, nice. Take that off. Into the plate. There's one, two. Just reduce the heat slightly. Go. And we have our scrambled egg here ready to go with our scallions. And click on this, we don't want to turn into an omelette on it. Okay, on the side, and we just scramble it again. A little bit of residual heat there. Go. Just follow that in there. Go. Now, portion control or portion sizes really depends on yourself. I've just got 2 eggs here. You could probably do 3 or 4. I would say somewhere between 4 and 6 would do 2 people. Smell is pretty good, pretty amazing. I've also got the kettle boiling in there for a nice cup of tea. Let's see what goes in there. Just check on my tea. Okay, so tea's ready also. Drop it up in there. Okay, we've turned off the heat there. Let's get our eggs on the plate. Eggs on the plate, he says. A bit of final seasoning there. Yeah. Guys, Irish brown soda bread and some organic scrambled eggs. There's nothing left for me to do, guys, but to tuck in and have it with my cup of tea. Well guys, that was absolutely delicious scrambled egg and Irish soda bread toasted in the pan with a nice cup of tea. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know it's a little bit something different from the norm. If you feel like you've enjoyed the video, give us a like, maybe even a comment, and subscribe. We'd much appreciate it. It always helps with the supporting the channel. Also, we have a Patreon link there listed in the description below, which always helps also. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys, and your luck, take care handy, stay safe.